Good afternoon. This is Jared with ArkLaTex AG TALK, and I'm here at Horatio Schools this afternoon interviewing the 2024 Reserve Champion Livestock Judging Team at Denver this year. So we'll go around the room, introduce to all the kiddos that were on that team, and talk a little bit about livestock judging and what all it entails here for our listeners. So we'll start with you.
My name's Layla Tallant, and I'm a junior.
Junior this year, 1 year left.
Yep, 1 year.
Awesome.
I'm Jake Sawyer. I'm a senior.
What'd you say a while ago? Finally? Right?
Yes, finally.
Finally.
And my name is Konnor Bailey, and I'm also a senior.
Also a senior. And finally as well? Or just
finally.
Okay, I understand. Last team member.
My name's Olivia Frady, and I'm a senior.
You're a senior. Finally as well, right?
Yes, sir.
No. Congratulations, guys. So who wants to start off and explain a little bit of livestock judging?
So, our standard classes will have 4 animals in it, and it'll be cattle, sheep, goats, or hogs, and it could be breeding or market. We are supposed to rank them 1 through 4, best to worst, unless it's a keep cull class, and it'll be 8, but one of them can explain that. But there's different priorities, whether it's breeding or market. Breeding, you want characteristics that'll be good for breeding animals. So like if it's females, you're going to want something with capacity that's going to be able to carry a baby for like the gestational period, and you're going to want one that's sound enough structured that she's not going to break down in the process. And then for market, number 1 priority is going to be yield and meat, so you're not going to want to pick a really skinny one that's not going to yield anything.
Well, when you get to a keep cull class, it has 8 in it, and you'll usually have a scenario probably just based around your area and what they're looking for in the animals that they have set up, and it'll have a bunch of EPDs on it, and you base them off paper, and then you should look at them in person, and then you base your placings on which 4 you keep and which 4 you get rid of. So
Okay. All right. So let's talk from here at school, or how we started from the team forming. I mean, you guys all been together since kind of day one. I mean, on judging at here at the local or county level, however you guys call it over this way, all the way up to regionals, and then, or let's talk that side for FFA.
3 of us at the table today started our 9th grade year and have been working up until this year. So we've been recognized at a community level, at a state level, and now at a national level. So that's something that we're kind of proud of.
Well, yeah. So let's talk like practicing. Do you guys just practice like off slides here at the school, or do you go look at live animals? I mean, and we talk raising stuff later, but just on the judging side, what's workout like? I mean,
we practice every day at school, whether it be on the TV on livestockjudging.com
okay.
to look at some videos of animals. But Miss Nikki tries to get us out as much as possible to look at live animals. So anytime she gets the chance to do that, we're always out there.
You just brought her up, and I guess we do need to introduce her, even though she's, I know, traveling today. I talked to her this morning, but the coach, who's coach, just so everybody knows who the coach is?
Nikki Litchford.
Nikki Litchford. So, and she's been coaching you guys since, you said day 1 pretty much? I mean, well, the year, not just day 1 of this for you guys, but
Last
back
4 years.
a few years.
Yep.
And so hard work pays off. Looking at live animals, how far out from this area y'all practicing? I mean, y'all know we're right here close to state line. So, I mean, I know you probably go into Oklahoma some, or where do y'all kind of go?
Just for like practice, the farthest we've been is probably Mena or Idabel. But
Yeah.
contest, we've been all the way to Victoria, Texas.
and
Okay.
then Denver. So
Yeah. And so on those contests, I mean, just open contests, like at Victoria and those, y'all try to catch as well as your, well, they come here on this side for FFA, you're in the springtime contests.
Our practice contest.
Yeah, practice contest, and then, okay, all of that. So how did you qualify? How did you even get to the point to get to go to Denver? How does that work?
at the state contest,
Where was that at? State contest, where's it held?
in Fayetteville.
In Fayetteville, okay.
So top 3 teams each have a different so if you get first in state, you'll go to nationals,
Okay.
which is in Indianapolis, and then which we got, which was second in state, you qualified for the contest in Denver,
Okay.
and then third place was Nebraska, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. So we got second and qualified for Denver.
Okay, I see.
National
So,
Western.
Yeah.
We qualified for the national.
Yeah, which is in conjunction. I mean, during that same time, and that's January. When was y'all up there?
January.
January.
First 2 weeks of January, but we were just there the first week.
So the first week of January, it was good and warm weather, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Did you find some snow on the ground? Probably.
It snowed when we flew in. It snowed, and then it got warmer, and then I think the last day it snowed a little bit. But.
Okay. So let's talk. I mean, you guys are traveling up there. I know you're prepping and getting ready here. So do you get up there a day or so early to kind of practice? You'll have practice sessions up there, or how does that work on that side?
We do. A few of the farms do invite the teams to come practice at their place. So it's usually the some of the main breeders that help with the
Okay.
National Western Roundup and their shows and everything. So they're usually big-time breeders and big-time farms up there. So they always invite those kids.
One of the places we went and looked, like the day before the contest, because the college and like some of the breeders, like Jake said, helped put together like a practice workout, and like they were there and put on officials at the contest the next day.
Yes.
Okay.
And most of them took reasons as well.
So let's talk classes up there. You guys, I mean, practice on. You kind of got to feel what she's going to look at the next day or whenever the contest was.
Mm-hmm.
So on contest day, how many teams are we talking you guys competed against up there?
There were more 4-H teams than FFA teams. I know that for sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But
There was 11 teams total, or a little over 11.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. But like you said, you have to qualify at the state side
Yeah.
to work. So that's
the best in their state, or
it,
second best.
second best in their state to qualify to go there. So, so the day of, let's talk. I mean, what all classes we had? How was the day?
Well,
we were up early.
we were up really early, and I mean, right off the get go, I mean, it hits you. I mean, we were nervous.
Well, sure.
Oh,
It was a very quiet
we were
ride.
nervous before we got on the plane, after we got off the plane.
The whole time we've been
All
here.
the way, yeah.
Fell asleep at night.
Everything to win, nothing to lose is what Miss Nikki kept telling us.
Yeah. But in the back of my mind, she's like, y'all better not mess up.
So we're going up the day of the contest. We're nervous wreck. I've been a nervous wreck since you left Southwest Arkansas, pretty much. It sounds like.
Yeah.
So how many classes did we have that day? What all classes did you guys have?
There were 12 classes,
Wow.
In sixes.
and 6 sets of reasons.
Six
Yeah,
sets.
that was.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I
on
can't
day
remember.
12, let's break it by species. What species did y'all have? You remember?
We had gilts and market hogs,
Uh,
market lambs and ewes,
we
Feedlot
had
cattle.
feeder steers,
Oh,
2.
2 classes of heifers, I think. There's the
Was
heifers.
it 2 heifer classes and a bull
Does.
class?
Yeah, there was does.
Does and market goats. And we don't see a lot of market goats. Like, we judge more does than market goats. So
yes.
anytime it's market goats, it's like,
A little nervous?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
So
think-
yeah.
Lambs, lots of hogs.
yeah. There were more cattle and hog classes than sheep and goats.
Okay. Yep.
But
Which is understandable, depending on that country,
Yeah.
you know as
Right.
well. And so, so we go through, have the day, have the contest. As contest is going on, how are you feeling about your classes?
I knew I stumbled on the first class,
Yeah.
and it was a reasons class, but I knew I'd messed it up, and I knew to talk it differently in
Mhm.
the reasons room to make up those points.
Sure.
After that, I felt pretty good, but I knew I still had the first class messed up, but the other ones went pretty well.
Go well for you.
I felt pretty confident until, I mean, you get to the classes that were like, the stock is really good. and
Yeah.
It's nitpicky things you're deciding off of. I mean, and there was just 1 to 2 classes where I walked away and I was like, it could have went either way for me. So, but other than that, I mean, I felt pretty confident. And going into the reasons part of it, I mean, it went quicker than some of the Oklahoma contests that we do 4 sets at. I mean, we rolled through it really quick, so that made it a little better.
Sure. What about you? Your side? What did this?
I was pretty nervous going into the contest. I had to remind myself, what you want, and I took that in consideration. But, I mean, naturally, with it being a national contest, it's a pretty big deal. So I feel like you partly need to be nervous, remind yourself what you need to do.
Yeah. Well, you care. I mean, yeah. If you're not nervous, you don't care. That's what I say on anything. And so we get through the day. We've had kind of feel good, not so good. So now let's go into. Let's explain to them what reasons. What's the point behind reasons? Reasons classes. Let's kind of talk reasons side now. And then back up. On the judging side, 50 points
Yes.
So 50 points on your class is your best score. And when you talk cuts, and I know cuts, we start getting into some more of that detailed stuff, but at least, to let our listeners kind of understand, what I mean by cuts is depends on how hard that class was or how easy that class was. So you have four animals with 3 cuts, and the cuts can be from 1 to, what's your highest number now?
We've had like a 9 before.
I've seen a 10 before.
There was a
so.
7 at Denver.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a
7
7.
was the big cut at Denver.
Yeah, 7 was
at
the
a
biggest.
national contest.
That was a big
There was
cut.
like 2 7s.
It was.
So that tells you. So if you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, that's how your animals are numbered, and you can go. I forgot how many those ways it can go.
There's a lot.
There's a lot.
24, isn't it?
24 ways to take those numbers from 4 to 1, 1 to 4, 2 to whatever. So your cuts are 3, so it can be a 7, 7, 2, or like you said, a 1, 2, 2, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So and then that's where your number comes off of that 50. So 50 depends on how, unless you perfect score your class, then you see what your total score is at the end of the class. So then let's go to raisins side. So 50 on the raisins also.
Yes.
So who wants to explain what raisins and the kind of the point behind them, I guess.
So with reasons, kind of the point behind them is to justify why you placed the animals the way you did. And I mean, there's a million different ways you can talk a set of animals. Everybody's like, the way they talk the animals, it's different. Every one of us in the room right now has a different way of presenting ourselves and kind of the words that we use and our vocabulary. So I mean, when you're talking the animals, you have your top pair, your middle pair, and your bottom pair. Just saying, why you place this one over this one, and then say something bad about the animal that was in second, but still say something good about it in the middle, because why it was placed over 2 over 3 or something like that, so on and so forth. So it's just a way to justify yourself and why you placed them.
So in your 4th place animal, do you, even with your last place animal that day, or for your set, do you still talk something good about that animal?
We try to.
Yeah.
Just because, like at Denver, you never know if you're going to be talking to the breeder, and you don't want to bash an animal in front of the breeder that's there. So I'm like, all right, never mind, we'll just give you the best score. So.
Yes, yeah. And so that's the same way whenever I was at high school is, I mean, even though you find something, it didn't matter if that animal was not good or structured, whatever it was, just you have to find something. So you have a short amount of time after the contest, and it depends on every contest. If you have a few minutes or you're waiting your line and you might be number 1 up there to talk your reasons, how you have, and that's why you all carry around your notebooks to write your notes down. Then you've got to figure out a way to memorize that.
We just had District Tuesday, and they gave us 15 minutes. But, like, at Denver, they didn't give us they let us get food, and then they put us in our line, and they were like, all right, we'll start in 5 minutes. And it was like...
It was fast. I think we gave 5 sets of reasons, or 6 sets of reasons, faster than we gave 2 sets of reasons at some of the contests in Arkansas.
It was...
True. And a lot of people, like you said. And so
It was ran very well, though, and we got through it fast, which kind of...
Very well.
It helped with the nerves, but it also made it worse because it was like, okay, you better have all your sets ready, and you better be able to get them down.
yes.
2 of them were like EPDs.
Yeah. And
2 of them were EPDs
Oh, I
on
didn't think about
papers.
that. Yeah, so you got to
So
talk
trying
fast.
to incorporate that into a set of reasons in that short amount of time isn't something that a lot of people can just whip up in 5 minutes.
On the EPDs, was it bulls?
it was a bull class.
Bull class, yeah.
And use.
Use.
Oh, to me, ewes are harder.
Yes.
Way harder, especially in cattle or hogs or, anything. So reasons, you got through the reasons, the classes. As you guys have said, it went very fast on that side. So then you're done with the contest. Then what? What happens?
Well, they're looking for our ag teacher.
They sent us out of the building.
We didn't
Yes.
get lost, but we were
lost.
We were definitely lost. So
We were lost.
we walked into the building, and did we find somebody or no? We just walked up to those.
We
We went
asked
to the-
for a phone.
We went...
after
They
Wait a
sent
minute,
us-
you asked for a
Phones
phone.
aren't allowed in the contest.
We
Okay,
couldn't
all right.
we couldn't have our phones, and so there were these people, like a bunch of the other kids. We all went to like the building that was in the middle of the stockyards where they were doing something. We saw the Oklahoma team, but we weren't friends with any of them, and we knew they wouldn't have Miss Nikki's number, and none of us knew it. And so then we saw this other group of kids, and the girl's name was Layla, and I was like, oh, I heard her say her name was Layla. Let's go make friends with them. And so we were like, hey, can we use y'all's phone? And she was like, actually, it's his. And it was a guy we had gave reasons to. And so when they got done with the phone, I was like, hey, can I use your phone to call my mom so she can call my ag teacher because we're lost? And so,
Your mom answered?
yeah, she answered.
Well,
she was
yeah.
like, I almost didn't because it was like a caller. It was like a Iowa number or something. Like it was something way off. And so I called Mom, and she called Miss Nikki, and then my mom called the guy back, and he was like, "Who's this Texas number?" And I was like, "That's my mom." So,
Yeah.
we were lost for a good probably 20 minutes.
Yeah.
The coaches, they just kind of hang out. Do they send them somewhere else? Do you know? Or
Miss Nikki and Greg just kind of did their own thing, I think.
Okay.
They did.
But- Like at the contest around here, I mean, she'll go eat breakfast.
yeah, I know usually like the ag teachers get together and just kind of help if they need to, or just kind of hang out while you guys are doing your stuff. But I didn't know at that level.
They got to look at the classes for like 5 minutes, I think, before they like switched the groups out because we judged it in 2 waves, and so she got to look at them a little bit. So that was good because she gets nervous if she can't look at the classes like after we judge them, because then we could just tell her one's bad because like we thought it was and she'll never know. So that kind of helped us a little bit. But yeah, I think she did
They
her own
just
thing.
did their own thing.
Kind of did their own thing. Yeah. All
Waited
right.
for us.
So we're all back together. Then what happens?
In the end,
We start talking. We start asking questions, or she starts asking questions. I know.
Yeah.
Well, when she goes through the animals, she kind of places them how she likes them to, which obviously she does better than all of us. But she's just kind of she was showing us what she placed them, and we were just kind of looking off and seeing what we really messed up and what we didn't. But I mean, after all that, we went and sit in, was it a new sale barn? What was it? What would we go into?
We sat in the bleachers for a minute, and then they
And
took
we
us to
com-
like the sale.
We compared
room.
ours
Yeah.
to each other's to see
Yeah.
if we were even close to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, it is a team thing, so
You're trying to see, because at this point you still don't know. And you just
No.
offer what your thoughts and your numbers of what you wrote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which, I mean, this year we've been doing pretty good by placing almost
Together.
a pair swap from each other. So we kind of based off that and said, okay, 3 out of the 4 of us place it almost the exact same. We can't be that far off.
So we go from there, and then after the heavy guys, so let's talk about going toward the awards assembly, or how they started.
So- They started it. They had somebody cater food.
Okay.
I don't remember what it was, but they had catered food, and we all got our plates and sit down. And at this point, we're still looking over each other's, just looking back over it. And I mean, it wasn't that long of a wait. And then they start, introducing everybody and passing out scholarships and like the quiz bowl and all that stuff. But I don't know anything about that. But then they roll into the giving each breeder or.
Okay.
Like the committee for
Yeah,
each.
the committee or the breeder, or one of the two.
slammed them.
Yeah. Those goats.
So they got up and gave the officials, and they're not afraid to say what they think. So, there was this window in a class, and that's the class that I messed up, and I knew it. But again, I talked it as a 50 in the reasons room, but messed it up on the floor. Slammed the dough that I put up,
That was
and I knew it. And then they put a really, really nice one in last and drove a 7 right through. So
right through that bottom pair.
Ooh.
7 hurt really bad. There was a gasp in the crowd.
So did anybody, like, at that point, I know, like, when I was judging, I mean, something like that happens, people's asking questions. I mean, like, why? Like, what did that ever happen at that level?
Everybody was kind of like looking around, and
I think
Like-
it was almost like a relief it was over.
Yeah, it-
And just waiting for the officials.
Yeah.
and with that many people like audibly gasping like that, I think it was kind of like, okay, if
We all feel
one
the
group
same.
messed up, a bunch of
Yeah.
groups messed up. So it was kind of, when it's something like that, it's like, it doesn't give us peace of mind because we still like busted the class.
Yeah.
But it
But
makes
it's
you
like
feel better
if we did it, everybody else
Like
did.
an
Yeah.
acceptance throughout the
It's-
contest. Everybody gets
yeah.
it.
Yeah, because if no one else would have gasped, and it's just on this team here, right? So
That would have been.
So they tell you the officials, kind of
Yeah.
talk or go through that. So at this point, I know we're getting more nervous because
That actually
We-
that felt the longest was them giving the
Sure.
officials a
Yeah.
talk, because I remember it was Layla, Miss Nikki, me, and I don't remember who's sitting next to me, but
Greg.
like
Greg and then
Greg.
me.
yeah. So we'd write whatever they placed them. Then they tell you the officials and the cuts, and like for me and Layla, we were almost exactly the same. It did 50, and then she'd write a 50, and Nikki'd kind of look over, and it would just feel like she was right on your shoulders the whole time.
We
But
were
it's
all
just-
figuring scores.
Yeah, figuring pretty fast.
And then the pressure just kept getting heavier and heavier because I was like, oh, we're
Obviously,
gonna.
Greg was over my shoulder. And I was throwing the 47s and the 50s down there, and he was like, very nice. And I was like, just wait. Just wait.
And Missy was sitting there bumping me with her shoulder. I'm like, shut up. I'm not supposed to be doing this good right now.
I busted a bull class, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
busted the day class. We all
One of
messed
them.
up on something,
Yeah.
but
No, well, that's part of it. I mean, like you
Right.
said, so we get through, we see where we've either busted or not busted, and then so as they start calling out, how'd they go from 3, or how far, or where they start at the bottom?
So
or
they
place?
start. So Miss Nikki just kind of handed out the little stickers that have like our numbers and whatever.
Mhm.
We always just go, out of all the contests, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. She just handed it off to us. Well, the numbers did not correlate with our names, so we get all that back, and they give officials, and then they give it. How was it?
The guy
It was
who tabulated the scores
Gave the
put
sheets
like this.
out.
He had like score sheets, and he gave them to everybody so they could check it and like make sure the stuff was right.
Yeah. So we're looking at that, and we're figuring it, and we were like, this is not our scores.
I had busted like 8 classes on there,
Yeah.
and I only busted
Oh.
1 on my sheet, and I started freaking out because
Mhm.
Miss Nikki's really big about us mismarking our card, and so the first class I was like, oh my gosh, I mismarked my card,
Yeah.
like I'm gonna be in trouble.
And then
And then it was like 2 more classes, and I was like,
So I was like, let me see the paper. Let me see if it's the same for me. And then it was like that. So we took it down there, which when it was around the corner and off back, and there was maybe 4 or 5 people in line. Well, we walked in there and we told them, and the guy was they're kind of not rude about it, but you could tell he didn't want to be doing that. So they were doing it, and we were talking to this one guy, and then how did we realize?
I still had my sticker on, and I was 2001, and so I was like, I'm 2001, but the guy's like looking at the sheet, and by my name it said 2004. So those are the cards he was going for.
Yeah.
And then we started looking, and all of our numbers were switched around because when Miss Nikki registered us, it put us in an order, and she didn't know that. And so she
Oh.
just gave us like the stickers and the cards like she normally does before our contest. And so that was kind of
Yeah, but he was like, "Oh man, it's no big deal." I mean, he was really nice about it actually, and just switched all of it around, printed us out a new sheet, and said, "Here you go."
Mhm.
And then after that, we rolled into rewards. I mean, after that,
yeah.
and that was nerve-wracking.
So where they start at 11? I mean, where?
So
How'd they do that?
They did.
They did all the quiz bowl stuff, and then they do high individual on sheep and goats, and then they'll do high team and sheep and goats,
Oh, okay.
and then high individual hogs, high team hogs, and they do all that until they get
Sure.
the big thing where it's like overall grand, or all that
Reasons,
stuff,
that.
and then reasons, and then
I'm like shaking talking about it.
yeah.
Did you guys win any in the reason
Um,
team on the reason side, or?
They started calling individual awards,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
we all got called for a few things, and then we started getting called for more team stuff,
yeah,
and that's when it was like,
click in that weird.
It was obviously down to 3 teams because those were
yes.
the ones going
So
down there.
Texas, Arkansas, and who was the other team?
Oklahoma got called for a few
Oklahoma.
Yeah.
things, and then Ohio. Yeah, was it
They
Ohio?
were getting
It was
called
something-
for
I
a
don't-
few
yeah.
things.
It was
That one
it was
girl got
somebody.
high individual or something.
Yeah, but
Shoot.
like there were like 3 or 4 teams that were getting called for everything
Yeah.
because like
Consistently.
they would call out the top 10, but only top 5 went down there for awards, and
Okay.
like it was back and forth. And
Mhm.
Miss Nikki chewed a hole in her lip because the more stuff we started getting called
Yeah.
for, like the closer it was getting, and
At that point, when you were at least in the top 5, so all the top 5 get awards.
Okay.
The teams get awards.
I didn't know if we were in top 5.
Yeah, I did.
Well,
I
it was
did
only
at
down
that
to
point. I was
3
like, oh
teams.
god.
And the Arkansas 4-H team that was there was sitting like right below us.
Yeah. No.
And
They're like, oh, good job. And we're like, stop,
Yeah.
please.
Please,
It was-
we're not here. Yeah, we don't. Yeah, we still don't know 100%, right?
Yeah.
So when it gets up, I mean, they're 5, 4, 3, and so whenever they call y'all for 2, what's it like then?
Well,
For reserve?
before that, they did individual. Did they do individual before or after team?
they did individual.
Before.
They
Okay.
did it
Teams.
before.
So I got 8th, and then we're working it down. I was like, okay, Layla did better be. What she's gonna get? She got 4th, and then at that point we were like, I mean, Jake was not far behind me, so we're like, we're up here for something. So they were doing all the team awards, and it got lower and lower. Then it got to top 5, and I mean we were all stressing out because they wouldn't say the total score that they got.
Oh,
Because
okay.
we can all add up our scores.
Yes.
And kind of get in range, but 5, and then they got to 4, but in my mind at 3, I was like, all right, we're out of it at 3, And then they called us.
But it was like they said it and like we all stood up and like I don't know about them, but I was like, oh, like cool. And then I was like, oh.
Yeah, it didn't.
Like-
It didn't click when they said it until it was like.
Like we got
It
our
was-
awards and we were down there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in shock walking down there.
And Miss Nikki was like,
She was shaking a little bit.
I mean,
About to fall down the
before all
stairs.
this, we were asking her. She's like, "Have you?" She had one Grace's team that qualified, and she was like, "Oh yeah, they got like
they were third.
seven,
Like 6 or something.
yeah,
I
sixth
don't
or
remember what
seventh
they
up
were.
here." And Grace, I mean, she just got called for a few things. So I want y'all to get y'all's names called a few times,
She
and
was
then
like,
we
"This is
had
y'all's treat."
then all that stuff, and then yeah,
And then reserve champions.
We also like because we care more about reasons than the actual placing classes.
Yeah.
And when the committees were giving their critiques, they were calling out like their high sets that they had, and some of us got called for high sets, so that was pretty cool.
yeah, that was like the first indicator, I think,
Yeah, that was.
that we did decent because I think I got called for a bulls, and then you got called for one.
I got called for hogs. I had a high hog set,
Yeah.
and that was pretty cool.
To me, when you start livestock judging, going after the place in a class is one thing, but talking that class and talking it right to get a 50, to me, that's where you separate your winners.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
where it makes or breaks.
Yeah.
Who win?
Curious, do you know point wise how between champion and reserve how far we were with you guys?
2 points.
2 points.
2 points.
Really?
Every one of those plaques over there, she wrote it on the back.
Yeah,
2
she wrote
points.
2 points on the back of all of our stuff.
Everyone.
We didn't
Everyone.
know until we was already home.
Yeah.
But we also thought it was going to be a lot bigger gap because the Texas team, they had like
They got called for a ball.
they had second, third, and like fifth.
Yeah, on
And
that
so
team.
like I was like, okay, they probably beat us by a lot. Like we're good. And Greg was like, yeah, I think it's a big gap. And we were all messing around. We were like, it's going to be embarrassing if it's only like a couple of
Yeah, and
points.
we get home, and I was just kind of scrolling through. I was like, they got to post this somewhere because it wasn't posted on our judging card like normal. I mean, it was. I
It
had
was
to go.
on Colorado 4-H's website.
Yeah, I got to go like an online, and there was like a bunch of you pull up a forum for it, and I was got to read, and I was like, there's the total score. And I looked at theirs, and I looked at ours. I was like, oh my god.
Jake sent it to me and he was like, Layla. And I was like, oh no.
That hurt though when I saw that. That's what.
Yeah.
It did hurt.
It hurt. Well, yeah.
But
It was really sweet for the Texas team.
they
did.
were really nice.
And they had
were
just won Quiz Bowl too, so that was cool for
Yeah.
them.
But they were really humble about it. So
Very humble.
if it was a really cocky team,
If it was Oklahoma, it'd be different.
Oh yeah. But it's Texas,
Yeah, it
was Texas. It was
yeah,
Texas.
they're nice. Oh. So now let me ask you this. I mean, you still have time. You guys are, only done judging, but if you guys were sophomores or, had more years of school, like, how does it work exactly being now you cannot go back? Or remind me how
We're about to
exactly.
go back to state contests.
You can go to state
so
contest.
if you win
but-
state, you can't judge again.
Okay, I knew there was something.
Yeah,
in the
so
deal
it's
there.
that. But if we got, hopefully, don't get second in state again. But if we did, we'd go back to Denver.
Yeah.
But
Okay, yeah, you can go back to this next because you guys will be at that point in college.
Yeah.
Be
You
for
can
next.
college.
Yeah.
You can keep going as long as you don't win.
yes,
In high school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But-
But once you win, then you
Yeah,
can't.
you're
If you
In
It's
that
not like
area.
that everywhere. It's just like that for Arkansas. Like
Yeah.
Oklahoma, they can go on
Oklahoma
forever.
is too.
I don't
Total's been.
Yeah.
Oh,
Total.
yeah, I forgot about that. But
So
Okay.
you can win and just keep going back and keep beating everybody, basically.
Gotcha. Yep.
the Arkansas team that won it last year, Spring Hill, they had what grade was Gatlin in?
he was a ninth grader.
He was a ninth grader.
So
He
now
can't-
he's done.
He can't
He's
judge
done.
again.
That was what I was about to ask next.
Yeah.
If one of the team members is, you
Yeah.
know,
Once you win state in Arkansas, you're done.
you're gonna
So-
find something else to
Find
judge.
something
or-
else to do.
You know, so
Like
interesting.
the team that won state in 2021, Rayleigh was a freshman, and after that, she was done.
Wow, isn't it crazy? I
Yeah.
mean, just how it works. And so, yeah. Well, and I tell you on the livestock judging side, with not sure what all you guys have in plans for college. I know you still have a little bit of time, but there's a lot of kids that go to school on livestock judging scholarships as well, and so that's a pretty big deal as well. Because I know there's lots of money, will pay you to go to college and things like that. So, listen, I know we're about to wrap up, but first, thank you guys very much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
For representing Southwest Arkansas, and then Horatio Schools, Horatio FFA, for everything that you guys have done. I know you worked hard, practicing every day, so it's fun to reap the benefits, as they say, by that as well. And so, but anyways, congratulations again. Thank you guys for sitting down with me. And this is Jared with ArkLaTex AG TALK, and we'll see you on the next episode.